It's me, Uchi. Yeah, I'm never doing that one again. But no, honestly though, for every critic out there that gave this a negative review or didn't rate it high, you clearly were not hugged enough. And you probably never played a game with Mario in it, because this movie was the best video game adaptation of all time. So let's get into it.
We're the Mario Brothers and plumbing's a game.
So I just came back from seeing the Mario movie, and there's a few things that I have to say about it. Now, first and foremost, I will be going over some spoilers, but I'm gonna do that towards the end of the video, so stick around, and I will give a spoiler warning until I actually get to any of the things that they haven't put out in any trailers. So stay with me now. Why am I calling this the best video game adaptation? Well, because out of all of the video game adaptations that we've seen over time, some are better than others, and a lot of the more recent ones I feel like have actually done a pretty good job. Like Sonic, even though they have a lot of live action based characters to the story overall, the story is very original, and I still consider that really good adaptation to Sonic and its entirety of this franchise. Another one being Detective Pikachu. That movie is heavily based off of the handheld Detective Pikachu game that came out a long time ago. And even then, the film did a fantastic job, and that was well received. And I'm pretty sure back then a lot of people weren't really looking forward to it, as far as, oh, maybe this is not going to really be it, Pokemon live action, but still it worked. So we're not really live action with Mario, we're still in the animated realm of things. But here's what I want to point out. From start to finish, the movie was very easy to follow. The movie had a very clear agenda, and it had a very focused point, and it didn't stray, it didn't turn away, it didn't add any other random things to it. There was nothing unnecessary, but what it did was it actually just stuck to itself. It clearly didn't take itself seriously, but when I say that with all the love and respect, because it's freaking Mario. It's me. Come on, man. Like, you really gonna take this seriously? This is a movie that's supposed to be fun, and that's exactly what it was. From start to finish, when the movie starts, it sets itself up, and then as it progresses, it gets better and better and better and more enjoyable. You're introduced to more characters, and you're introduced to people that I wasn't even expecting. Now I'm gonna go over that in the spoiler part, but we're not there yet. See, because if you've played any game with Mario in it, notice how I say any game with Mario in it. It doesn't necessarily have to be any of the Super Mario Brothers games. It doesn't even have to be Mario from Nintendo or any of the 3D ones where it's like Galaxy or Odyssey or 64 or Sunshine. Like, you know, I'm not saying you have to play any of those. I'm saying as long as you've played a single game with Mario in it, this movie, there's no reason why you would rate it low. Absolutely no reason why you would rate it low. There was literally something for anybody. There was so many references and so many little Easter eggs, and honestly, I made a list, and I'm gonna go over all the ones that I picked out, but I'm pretty sure there's way more than I probably missed. And this is something that I'm sure every time you go and watch it, you're gonna find something else. And then to those that maybe never have played a Mario movie, I could tell you right now that as someone that isn't very good at these games, and I've played them all throughout my life, the only Mario game I've ever beaten was Odyssey. I could tell you that I've never been more Mario hyped in my life. And this is how good that movie was, to the point where I freaking went out and I got me this tie-dye shirt at GameStop on clearance, shoutouts. And I was very happy with the experience that I had with this film. So now we're going into spoiler territory. All right, so I highly recommend, if you don't want to be spoiled, if you haven't seen this movie already, please come back to this video once you have seen it, so that you can hear my thoughts on the movie in its entirety and all of the little Easter egg references that I managed to pull. So here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Do you yield? I do not.
So I'm going to read off of this list that I have on my phone here of all the things that I was able to like kind of pick out, and it's in no specific order. I got Jumpman Machine, Punch Out Restaurant, Luma, maybe? I'm not really sure. Rosalina off of the blue outfit from Peach. Literally Mario Kart, themes, cart selection, items, Blue Shell, Rainbow Road, the Superstar Power-Up, other boss characters like King Boo and King Bomb. The eel. The eel. I just fought this thing in 64. Like, I'm dead ass. Look, watch the clip. Oh, that thing. Oh my God. You see? Couldn't have came at a better time. Mario's parents, which we've never seen in Family while we're at it. Mario's dad looks like an older Wario. Mario 3D World Toad levels. Fire Cat and Tanuki power-ups. Luigi's Mansion, kinda. Dry Bones. Giga Bowser tease. The world map view of the other worlds in the Mushroom Kingdom. The Jungle Kingdom. Diddy, Pixie, Cranky Kong. Donkey Kong Classic Style level. Yoshi's. And if you stay for the after credits, well, I'll leave that for the actual, like, summary of the entire movie. Oh, and one more. They had the freaking Odyssey outfits. Like, literally, Bowser and Peach, they were dressed up in, like, their, like, wedding gown stuff. Like, their marriage, whatever, what do you, outfits? Whatever, suits? I don't know. Those are all the things I could think of at the top of my head after I came out of that movie. Those are all the things that I could come up at the top of my head after coming home from watching this film. Now, as far as the actual whole summary, the plot, everything like that, the movie essentially is about the Mario Brothers. It's literally called Super Mario Brothers Movie, right? For a specific and direct reason. It's not just Mario. It's Mario and Luigi. So the whole entire point is, like, this story, we're following these two brothers. Luigi is essentially Mario's right-hand man. They've never been separated ever since they were babies, and that was another thing. The baby versions, baby Mario and baby Luigi. That was also a baby Peach, and we were able to see that their relationship, they're tight, right? And I love that. I'm a sucker for things of this type of nature where it's like brotherhood and stuff like that, like very close bonds and everything like that. I love that kind of stuff, so I ate it up. Now the point is, they're plumbers. They're trying to start their plumbing business. They spent their whole life savings on that freaking we're the Mario Brothers, and that's another Easter egg. Why didn't I say that first?
We're the Mario Brothers, and plumbing's a game.
They had the whole they had a whole commercial, and they finally got a job where they were trying to, like, fix someone's pipes. That led to another scene happening where it was completely separate, and this was happening in, like, the middle of Brooklyn. So Mario was like, oh, they're not looking in the right place, so they went underneath the streets. They went down below into the depths, and of course Mario found where the problem was. It was like some, like, pressure thing or whatever, and they couldn't reach it, so they start falling deeper within the sewers. And then, funny enough, and this would have actually been hilarious if they, like, had the turtles in there, like the Ninja Turtles. That's just me thinking out loud. But they see a green pipe, and obviously, what does that mean? It's a warp pipe. That's probably what's gonna start this movie. So of course they go in. Luigi's the one that falls in first, and then they're in the Mushroom Kingdom, where we then get introduced to Toad, and then Toad essentially is guiding Mario through this Mushroom Kingdom. And it's just toads and random, I guess you could call them enemies, or, like, you know, creatures that we come across in these Mario games, whether they're in 3D games or the 2D ones. It really doesn't matter, because it's like a humongous world of everything in one, right? So they are talking, and Mario's obviously trying to find his brother because they got separated. So then Toad's like, oh, maybe Princess Peach could help you. So then he brings you to Peach. Princess Peach. Now, mind you, what is the one common theme that we're always doing in all these Mario games? We always gotta save this girl. Always. In the majority of these games, we're always saving Princess Peach. This time, the script has been flipped, and I think whoever came up with this decision did a phenomenal job. I liked the idea that they were, instead of saving Peach's ass, they went to go save Luigi's instead, and that was fire. I will give them that. And that's part of what I was saying earlier in this video, was that they stuck to their focus. They didn't divert or, like, pivot or change it. They didn't have, like, this inserted fake ass, like, out of the blue romance. I mean, they're definitely setting that up, and there's seeds planted for that, but as of right now, they stuck to this being about saving Luigi. And Peach played a humongous role in this film, as far as just kind of helping Mario get acquainted and familiarized with this world and how things work. She's the one who introduced him to power-ups, how they worked, how they function, and when they could use them, how long they lasted for. She even set him up on his first, like, big course that she destroyed, by the way. Like, this Peach, best Peach we've ever seen. This is not the damsel in distress Peach. This Peach is the leader of the team type Peach, and I like that. I'm definitely a fan, and I can tell you right now, like, I'm sure, you know, a lot of other people are gonna appreciate that too. So Mario's goal is to save Luigi. Well, Peach gets word that Bowser is on his way, and Bowser's trying to, of course, take over the Mushroom Kingdom. Now, the thing with Bowser at the same time while all this was happening is Bowser actually infiltrated like the Penguin. I don't know if you call that the Penguin Kingdom, or I'm not sure where that ice level is. That's a definitely direct 64 reference, and that's actually really cool too. And they had no problem, you know, infiltrating. That was part of the charm and part of like how funny it was, because like none of these, they was throwing snowballs at Bowser. What the hell was that supposed to do to Bowser? I thought it was funny. It was really enjoyable, like I said. So Bowser, he pulls up, and he pulls up why? Because he's trying to get the superstar. And this is where I feel like that would have is a direct tease to Giga Bowser. I think that if he actually did take that superstar, he wouldn't have just become like, you know, the superstar power from like in Mario Kart, which they actually did. We'll talk about that later in the end of the movie. And like he would have just been like no, I feel like that was a direct tease of Giga Bowser. I could be wrong, but this is their opportunity to literally give us everything when they have this chance. So, and I'm sure this movie is gonna do great enough to where it will actually get a sequel, and we'll get to that as well. So we're setting the stage here. Bowser, he wants the superstar. He gets the superstar. Why does he want the superstar? So that way he has that as like kind of like a contingency plan, so that if Peach does not accept his marriage proposal, yes, he's still trying to marry Peach. He's trying to be with this woman, and he wants her by his side so that they can, you know, destroy and conquer all the lands together, right? And if she doesn't accept, like I said, he's gonna do it anyway. Now that Peach knows that Bowser's on the way, she obviously teams up with Mario so that way they can help save Luigi while also defending themselves. And how are they gonna defend themselves with a bunch of toads? You would be wrong. They're gonna go to the freaking Jungle Kingdom. Shout out to my boy Donkey Kong. He's out here flexing the chest, doing the freaking I can't really do that. This is a big shirt. Sorry. And so what do you know? We're in the Jungle Kingdom, and this is another opportunity for them to literally show us way more cameo appearances and more references. And on the way, we saw Yoshi's, we saw all these different worlds that literally we visit in Mario games. It's just like, dude, this is like a no-brainer 10 out of 10 movie. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I'm not even the biggest Mario guy. I might not even be the biggest Nintendo guy, but I'm telling you right now, as a video gamer, as someone who has been around this my whole life, I understood like basically everything they threw at me, and that's a testament to, you know, whatever. Like, you know, I'm not just a collector, I guess, at the end of the day. So they finally get to the Jungle Kingdom. The Jungle Kingdom, they're here. They're pulling up. They meet Cranky Kong, son. Oh my god. I was like, yo, that's Cranky. Cranky sets up a fight with Mario because, you know, they have to, you know, have some sort of like, I'm not gonna give you my whole army unless he had to beat Donkey Kong in a fight, which I thought was gonna be like more of like a Super Smash Brothers reference, but it actually wasn't. It was more or less their original like Donkey Kong Jr. like Donkey Kong game where you're Mario and you actually have to like, you know, get all the way to the top to save the princess, except this time there was no princess to be saved at the top because they were just fighting, I guess, to the death, right? I don't know. So they have a fight, there's power-ups involved and whatnot, and a lot of comedy. And then, of course, Mario ends up winning. They win over the Jungle Kingdom's army, but they have to get there to their destination to kind of like, I guess, get a one-up on Bowser's army. They gotta get there with carts. And it's through the Jungle Kingdom that we actually get to see literally Mario Kart. The entirety of Mario Kart from the most recent one, from the theme song when you're picking the, like the carts, bro. Like, come on, son. Like, they had the options. Like, you know how when you're playing Mario Kart and you gotta pick the vehicle, the wheels, and the, you know, and the freaking glider, it was all there. Like, it was like you were at a convenience store or some like that, at a kiosk trying to pick your cart. They had a freaking Kong behind the machinery that was building all that in front of you. Dude, this movie was fire. Like, come on. Like, this movie was so good. Like, I could not believe. I was like, I can't wait to get home so I can play some freaking Mario games, because like I was so excited just watching this, and the amount of attention to detail that was in here. Like, all these people at Illumination and Nintendo that worked hand in hand with each other, like, clearly they knew what the they were doing. I'm sorry, that's my one F-bomb for the video. So then they're all carting up. They all like are going through, and then of course there's that Rainbow Road part that we see. And so unfortunately Bowser got wind and of this happening, and then that obviously that did not really turn out too well, because they were like, oh yeah, well, if they think they're gonna get a one up on me, I'm gonna get a one up on them. And that's exactly what happened. So then it was like, it turns into like this whole like grand freaking deluxe Mario Kart race, except they were just trying to get to the end of wherever they was actually trying to go. And long story short, they lose. Peach gets captured, and so now they do low-key have a little bit of what we are used to without kind of diverting away too much from what the original plan is. And the original plan obviously is to save Luigi, and even then they still manage to insert just a smidge of this original source material stuff, because it's like, would it really be a Mario movie if we weren't trying to save Peach at some point? Well, here you go. And I think it was done perfectly. I thought it was really done flawlessly to no end. I know that I'm super excited right now and I'm really hyped, but like, I'm telling you guys, this movie from top to bottom was ridiculous. It was really good. I would love to see it again. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, this is a kind of movie that you definitely got to see a couple times to like see all the references and whatnot, to really fully like get a whole grander scope. And I feel like every time he goes back to see it, you're gonna find something else, like I said. So how did Bowser manage to take Peach? Well, he basically threatened her. He said, if you don't marry me right now, if you don't accept this wedding, I'm killing everybody. Like, essentially, that's literally what he said. I can't even make that up. So in order to save everyone, Peach said, okay, fine, I'll marry you, just don't hurt anybody. And then Bowser's like, you have my word. So Bowser has some honor. I do like that. Bowser had honor. He was a man of his word, and he didn't like do like some double negative where he like baited, caught, and then said, ooh, never mind type, you know? He wasn't like that at all. So I like that. I do like that. Like, everyone had their characteristics, and they really did stick it out, and they were very true to themselves, and I did like that a lot. Other than that, so we're kind of getting a little bit closer towards the end of this movie from what I can remember from, you know, memory. I didn't have any kind of press release or anything like that, so it's not like I can like watch it here and at the same time while I'm giving you guys this like spoiler review. But essentially, this whole wedding happens. This is where we see Bowser and Peach dressed up in like their Odyssey like outfits. There's a whole scene where they kind of crash the wedding. There's a whole fight scene, and then they free Luigi, and then there's all the fighting. Like, it gets crazy. It gets so crazy to the point where they actually end up back in Brooklyn. So they go from the Mushroom Kingdom back to where all this started, and literally the whole block that Mario and Luigi are from, they all these civilians and bystanders, they got to actually see all this craziness. Like, all of the wild and wacky stuff that comes out of the Mushroom Kingdom literally was just in Brooklyn. And everyone was like, oh my god, freaking out, like, what the hell's going on? And there we see Mario and Luigi, the heroes of this movie, here to save the day. And what do you know? They get the superstar, and they freaking, it's like just like in Mario Kart, when you get the freaking star power, and then they do the whole thing. They get Bowser so good. Yo, they messed this man up. They did all these combination attacks. They did the usual, like, toss Bowser's ass around from the tail from 64. Like, that's, you know, that's staple. They had a whole combo. They even had a freaking rider kick. I was like, hold on there. Where are we getting this one from? It was just phenomenal. Like, I really felt like with that scene and with everything else leading up to this, I'm like, dude, this could have been like an anime series. Like, for real. Like, this really could have. And I'm sure everyone would have ate that up. It had its anime elements to it. It felt very shonen at this point. But even then, it wasn't like they ended the movie with like, oh, like Peach and Mario are now together and they're gonna kiss. Like, no, it wasn't about that at all. It was the bond and the freaking relationship that Mario and Luigi had. Again, Super Mario Brothers. Again, you know what I'm saying? And they stuck it out. They stuck to it. And the movie ends on a happy note. They're back to their plumbing, and it looks like they're going back and forth between the Mushroom Kingdom and Brooklyn. So they got their business intact. It seems like, you know, like I said, the seeds were planted for Mario and Peach to potentially have a relationship maybe later on. But I'd imagine maybe in the second film, Peach will actually be the reason or the thing that they have to go save. Maybe we'll see. I could be wrong. I would love to be wrong, because honestly, they could give me whatever the hell they decide to give me, and I'm going to go and watch it, and I'm going to love it, because they did a phenomenal job with this film. Now, when you stay past the credits, past where, you know, Bowser's doing his song and his little piano and everything like that.
Peaches, 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 peaches. Ah, oh, yeah.
There's a part where we go back underground, and right by where that pipe was where they went through, there was a Yoshi egg, and it started to crack. And obviously you hear the Yahoo! That's where the screen goes to black. And what are we left with? The tease. And I'm pretty sure that the second film is going to be Super Mario World. Because guess who's on that cover? Mario and Yoshi. So I think that for the second movie is gonna be that whole dynamic. I'm not saying like Luigi's not gonna be in the movie at all, but I think this will be more focused with Mario and Yoshi possibly like establishing some sort of relationship or connection, something along those lines. Maybe this is where we see more of a we're gonna go save the princess kind of thing, because obviously Bowser's still around and he's still involved. I feel like the second Mario film, whether it's Super Mario World or it's dubbed something else, I think that they're gonna just inject way more references and way more Easter eggs that maybe we didn't even catch on to in this first movie. Because again, this is a franchise that's been around for 30 plus years, and I know that there's plenty to go around. The Smash Brothers, the other Mario games, maybe Super Mario RPG, are the characters like, yo, where was Wario? Where was Waluigi? I mentioned that Mario's dad kind of looks like an older Wario. Who knows? Maybe they kind of come in at some point in the next movie, or they're the ones that get teased out in after credits. I'm not sure. The other thing that I've been saying this for a long time on my streams, and I'm gonna say it here now. I really think that due to the success of all of these Nintendo related video game franchise-esque movies, I think that they have every right to establish the Super Smash Brothers cinematic universe. Give it to me. I'm ready, and I know you are too. So that's all of what I have to say about the Super Mario movie. I think that all the critics, that literally it shows that y'all have no idea what you're talking about. You never played a Mario game. You probably wasn't hugged enough, and I'm sorry if you weren't hugged enough, but you at least need to keep in mind and bear in mind that this was the love letter to the fans of Mario, and this was like one of the greatest movies ever, especially when it comes down to video game adaptation. Let me just also say the voice acting was done perfectly. I don't have any qualms with any of the actors. Yes, part of the Easter eggs was the original Mario voice was a part of this movie, and honestly the way they used him was also perfect in my opinion, because when you think about it, he is more suited and we're used to hearing him in soundbite form. We're literally hearing him say yahoo and yee, oh I'm tired, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're used to hearing him in spurts. We're not used to hearing him with actual dialogue and, like, you know, all this story and stuff like that. And the way that they needed to have his voice in some way or capacity, and they did a few times throughout the movie, it was done perfectly. And then this Mario that we got with Chris Pratt, it was done just fine. It's not like his voice was bad, and it's not like his voice, like what would you expect? You wanted to sound like this the entire time. Mamma mia, like, you would leave. I'm telling you, you would walk out that theater. You'd be like, all right, this is annoying. You would rate it bad just because of how annoying it was. Let's be honest. So like I said, everyone, phenomenal job. All the voice. My man Jack Black on Bowser, bro, phenomenal. You get the things. Matter of fact, hopefully by the next time you see me, I will probably have that Bowser figure right here. Boom. Because that I keep, every time I see it, I regret not getting it. I'm gonna get it now. Those are all my thoughts. Again, man, I can't stress enough, guys. The best way to always make an opinion is to do it yourself. Just go see the film. Don't look at no critics, because they have no idea what they're talking about. These people that are on these websites that are writing these reviews and stuff like that, like, let's end it on a good note. Super Mario Brothers is fire. 10 out of 10, even for me. That's saying a lot, just because I'm trash at these Mario games. So I hope you guys go and see it, and I want to know your thoughts. If you did see it, let me know in the comments below. If you're coming back from watching the movie and you came across this video, definitely let me know. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, hit that bell for the alerts, and make sure you're supporting any way that you can by checking out my links in the description below. And also make sure you guys are taking care of yourselves. May the power protect you. Keep it locked, loaded right here on this channel. Stay safe, stay clean, and stay the hell inside. I'll see y'all next time.
Mario Brothers and plumbing's a game. We're not like the others who get all the fame. If the sick is in trouble, you can call us on the